Hey everyone, well, welcome back to the Hard Reset. I'm Nick, and thanks for joining me. I wanted to make this video because of something I saw in social media recently, and it's I've seen it elsewhere, I've seen it happening. It's this dynamic. Um, yeah, it really caught my eye, and I had a really strong reaction to it because I was seeing how this person, how to what degree they were getting violated in terms of boundaries and self-respect, or not self-respect, respect in general. But where it came from was a lack of boundaries and a lack of self-respect, and where that's the seed for which this dynamic and situation originated. And it really struck me because it's such a slippery slope, right? Seeing this in my own life, seeing how disrespect, once you lose it, it's not something you can just get back. Once you lose it, if you can ever get it back, it's almost like maybe you could get some back, but you will never get it back to what you had if you lose it, right? And that if you don't respect yourself, you really cannot expect anybody else to respect you. And it sounds cliche, but it's absolutely true. So what I saw, I've seen this in social media. There's a high profile celebrity. I won't name any names because I'm not judging them. I don't know them, but the behaviors and dynamics should be talked about because they're incredibly toxic. And in some ways, in the aspects of life, there's kind of nothing more important than boundaries, dignity, and respect. It's like once you lose those, it's like, honestly, if you think other things matter more than that, then I think it's really matter that you've in some way or form have sold your soul. But yeah, in this case of this one celebrity, actually I've seen it. It's a trend. I've seen it. I can recall three cases where this dynamic is playing out, and I personally find it disgusting. But it's it's a dynamic between two people, where essentially a situation where people should support the other person in their life, their significant other, and understand the importance of boundaries, respect, and yeah, pretty much. I mean, it really boils down to those. And in this celebrity, it's a case where his significant other, very publicly, on a very public platform, just embarrasses him, disrespects him, does not respect. I don't think there's strong boundaries. I think that's one thing, but definitely stepping over where boundaries should be, right? Just, I don't even know if it's airing their dirty laundry, but she's definitely airing her dirty laundry without one iota of shame, and very publicly saying she wants to sleep with somebody in front of her significant other, just blatantly blasting how she was used and abused in college, to just this celebrity's friends and colleagues. And I've seen it in other situations where I can't fathom it. I just can't understand it. How it just boggles my mind how you can get so far down that path, because the solution is so simple, is you just have boundaries and you respect yourself. You say, that is a bridge too far. And it's not like I'm talking some extreme demands. I'm saying just a boundary of human decency that says, I will not allow this to happen. Like, because yeah, it's just things that are unacceptable. And that sounds like it's not in any form of control. It's more, if you respect this person, then you should respect this boundary. And it goes both ways, right? Because without those boundaries, I've seen it where these people don't have boundaries. They get violated very publicly, and they lack the skills to deal with it or handle it. And I don't know what the right move when you've gone that far down that path, because I personally would not allow myself to go down that far down that path. But I see this doubling down when your boundaries have been violated so greatly, to, instead of fighting back against it or standing up for yourself, these people double down on essentially kissing the feet of the person that just violated them and disrespected them. And it leads into this other dynamic of this really toxic dynamic that is that people who say whatever they want with no consequences, some of the most crude things, their excuses, well, that's just me being me. That's just me. I don't have a filter. And I think that's just a poor excuse for bad behavior. And it's really a slippery slope of human decency, of a lack of standards when it comes to human decency. But I think as people, and as men especially, it's very important to have boundaries and realize that the importance of self-respect, because if you don't respect yourself, you can't expect somebody else to respect you. And when you lose respect, it's a very hard thing to get back. And I believe it's very, very few other things matter more. Because it's a matter of like, how do you go through life and knowing everybody else is laughing behind your back or doesn't respect you? It's like, how do you go on from there, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have, how many things you have, because that's probably the limit of what you have if you don't have respect, right? You don't have power, because power, well, you may have power, but it's a certain brand of power that is very, relies on, I guess, fear or force, but it's not power, like true power, I guess. Because if nobody respects you, then that power, it's just a matter of time before it gets toppled over, right? But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's really, it really gets into this idea of simp culture, of this idea of what a simp is, and it really shines a light on the distinction between being a simp and being a gentleman or just a man, because I think some confuse the two. I especially, as a father, I saw this other thing about simping as a father, and I could again see the confusion, getting them confused, thinking as a parent, and especially as a man who's a parent of a young daughter, it's really not about just giving her everything she wants all the time, because that only trains your child to become spoiled and entitled, versus having a grounded perspective on life, understanding that you don't always get what you want, but you can earn what you want. That respect is important. Boundaries are important. Because I think by just giving your child, but in this case, giving your daughter as a father just anything they want at any time, it's a form of enabling and becomes conditioning. And then when they grow up, they don't have the tools to deal with life. And that doesn't mean you're cruel, or you don't give your child the things they want. It's not what I'm saying. It's just knowing that at a certain point, without those boundaries or those limits, you enable behavior that does not is destructive in adult life, I guess. Maybe that's a controversial topic, but I don't know. I think it comes back down to just this idea in a lot of facets of life of enabling, right? And it goes back to the couple I was speaking to in the beginning, right? It's not about control, it's not about power, it's just about self-respect. And and it happens over time, but it happens deliberately, because enabling is so subtle sometimes, because it shows up masquerading as not nice. That's not the, because niceness has gotten a bad rap. It shows up maybe kind, maybe generous. Enabling shows up masquerading sometimes as generosity or kindness. And in the moment, it may look like that, but when it is true enabling, it's actually super destructive. And yeah, I see this is a longer conversation, and this video has already gone a lot longer, but it's really a more systemic problem, because I actually see grown adults in their 60s and 70s, a product of enabling. And it's kind of pathetic, actually. It's really sad. Yeah, it's like, how do you go through life and end up being in your 60s or 70s still the victim, or being the victim of life, and expecting everybody to do things for you, right? That's no way. Those people are definitely not thriving. They have not thrived in life. And as a father, what's best for my daughter is that she grow up with the tools to thrive in life, to be able to take care of things on her own and earn the respect of everybody else she encounters, right? But anyway, yeah, this has become a longer video than I anticipated, but it just goes to show the value of boundaries. Like, we all need them. It's not like you can go through life without any boundaries. You need boundaries. And the importance of self-respect. Yeah, because what I've seen is, when you don't have those, it can really blow up in your face. Anyway, this has been The Hard Reset. I'm Nick, and until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.